Hi, everybody. My name is Andrew Klungness. I'm a partner with Fenwick & West. I'm in Santa Monica, California. Please don't make a comment about me bringing the weather with me. I've heard enough of that over the last week. So yeah, NFTs and AI. I mean, MC's absolutely right. You know, was I late in submitting my speaker application because I took a 3-week trip to Thailand at the end of the year and really wanted to speak and just smashed 2 trendy buzzwords together to make sure my application got accepted? No, of course not. You know, NFTs and AI have, oops, there we are. Yeah, there we are. They've enjoyed a long, illustrious history together. Most, if not all, of the generative art and other types of art associated with NFTs are, again, generative art. I think broader questions about how the physical world and the digital world interact and overlap and one will subsume the other are often explored by generative artists. And, for this reason, the two, share, as we say, a very deep relationship. I'm including in this presentation a number of generative artworks, of course, properly licensed or CC0'd, et cetera. And, we'll talk a little bit about how that looks from a legal point of view, not just the generative art, but indeed, as we heard in the panel about valuation, some very interesting statements about how AI tools are being used to support marketplaces, valuations. We see, among our client base, tools for market making, market manipulation, not really. Market making, market discovery, product discovery, matching. We see AI agents used to supplement systems like token proof, where literal, at least digital worlds, if not universes, are bridged as token holders can drift among metaverses, and obviously these things are all accelerating in space and time with increasing frequency. So how do we look at this from a legal perspective with all this change? Well, the first thing we talk about is provenance. We're not talking about art provenance because, as we all know, the blockchain, assuming good data in the first place, plays an excellent role in making sure that happens. What we're really talking about is data provenance. AI, of course, doesn't just create images, text, data, et cetera, from whole cloth. AI creates images based on what it learns. And how does it learn? It takes in massive amounts of data. Well, where does that come from? What is the provenance of that data? It's a very important question to ask legally because, of course, not only is it appropriate to have rights to use the data that's being ingested into a system, what is the input, what is the AI trained on, but probably more importantly, the output of AI can infringe the rights of others, whether, many of you may have seen the Getty Images case that's been brought in the United States and Europe. No comment on that, and I'm sparing everybody the disclaimers, but, I'm a lawyer, not yours, et cetera, et cetera. Keeping in mind what goes in and what comes out, is it clean, especially what comes out. The other thing we like to talk about is rights. It's sort of the flip side of the coin of data provenance and input and output. How protectable is the output of an AI algorithm? How protectable is it subject to copyright protection? And the answer increasingly seems to be probably not. Under at least US copyright law, and I believe across the world, a human author, copyright protects the works of human authorship. Not monkeys, if you've ever seen that famous case, and certainly not AI algorithms. And for this reason, we advise our clients, assuming they care about protection, and of course, we'll talk about the 4D chess of CC0 in a second, it's not protectable without significant human intervention. So we advise our clients to do things like use AI tools to create backgrounds and themes and objects, but selecting, arranging, modifying, materially, those things can create a work that's subject to protection. It's of course not about just necessarily excluding others, but as we probably all know, many of the complex licensing models and the empowerment of token holders and things of that nature are built, frankly, on intellectual property rights. You can't have commercial rights of any value if anybody can use an unprotected work. So definitely something to keep in mind. And again, I alluded to CC0. Some of my favorite AI artists are crazy like foxes in the sense they're already aware of the challenges of non-predictability of machine-generated work, so they just donate it to the public in the first place, and use that to cultivate goodwill and monetize through other means. Communication. This is a very broad topic, and I could have perhaps used the term protocols. I could have perhaps used the word systems. Whatever. Pretty cool artwork. Yeah, AI systems are used just like AI is the next great computing platform that's transforming the world in so many other ways. Of course, it's touching our industry. So again, these systems support our broader ecosystem, and intelligent agents, one of the most quickly developing areas and certainly attracting a lot of venture capital funding, is AutoGPT. It's AI that doesn't even necessarily need prompts. So these intelligent agents will find NFTs. They will even perform transactions. They will open the gates to experiences and, again, new worlds. And lawyers need to keep in mind that there are issues such as contract formation. For example, if an intelligent agent finds a number of NFTs based on the fact that you hold one already, are those NFTs that are subject to different license terms, are those license terms being accepted? Are you appropriately accepting license terms going from one metaverse to another? If there's any personal data involved or financial data involved, by the way, blockchain wallet addresses can be personal data, are there appropriate consents and permissions, especially when you're dealing with a global audience where you don't necessarily know who those people are? All issues to keep in mind. And of course, the specter of KYC AML law, hangs on us all in the digital asset space at all times. So, very interesting things to consider. So looking ahead, what are we seeing? What are we seeing? What are our clients working on? What are you all working on? What are we seeing emerge in the marketplace? Well, there's no question that AI tools will continue to proliferate. No question that generative art's going to be a major aspect of crypto art and the NFT marketplace in general. So again, keeping in mind these issues around predictability and data provenance and rights are increasingly important. Believe me when I tell you, content owners, data owners are very aware of these issues and they're very active in taking steps such as using quote-unquote radioactive data. There are emerging standards for protectability of data, and they're aware of it, so you can't get away with what you used to. Also look at the terms of use and the contracts under which the tools are offered, because those are important and contain important terms around inputs and outputs. And lastly, there's increasing rumblings of AI regulation, not only in the United States, but in Europe, across Canada, Japan, across the world. Those primarily affect the developers of tools, but those of us who use them in the NFT space, should be aware of them as well, and should be interesting. So, thank you, and enjoy the rest of the conference. And here's how you can reach me.